It was a feeling. So I go in the closet, I'm following the feeling. I say out loud, all right, I'll put my clothes back or something to that effect. I counted to five. One, two, three, four, five. I go back out into the room. My clothes are right there on the bed. It freaked me out. I wasn't crying, screaming until my mom freaked out. I was more curious, like, what just happened? The weirder part is my clothes are on the bed. I laid them neatly. When they were placed back on the bed, it looked like they were just thrown there really quick, not neatly placed like how I had just laid them. I knew, all right, I'm not losing my mind as a 9-year old. I find it so odd that after my grandmother passed away, this happens. In the back of my head, I'm like, she was playing a joke on me. Maybe she hadn't crossed over yet. She just wanted to let me know I'm here. She wasn't a jokester when she was alive or anything, but I feel like that was her way of letting me know I'm here. I hope that's what it was. That's what I tell myself for comfort. She did it. She was playing a little joke on me. They say you get a new body, a new spirit when you cross over. Maybe she's her young self again and it's like, I'm gonna play a little joke on you. I didn't tell anyone in my family. I don't even think I've told my mom. I've told friends. Of course, everybody's like, what? I'm like, no, this really happened. I'm not crazy. But I've never told anyone in my family. When you're that young and something like that happens, it's just like a part of the kid imagination that really just like shrugs it off. She had a house. Shortly after she passed away, we ended up moving into her house. My bedroom had a mirror, like the mirrors that were built into the doors. I don't know if they still do that nowadays, but the mirror was built into the door. It was a full body mirror. There was this imprint of a shadow of a person in the mirror from the shoulders up. It was almost like the person peeking. It just stayed there, imprinted in the mirror. There was a lady, she had this little top bun. I didn't pay it any mind. Nothing weird ever happened in that house. No funny noises or anything like that. We moved from Tennessee to a different state. We did a little moving around and then we finally settled. We got this little 1-story house. It was a really simple layout. You walk in the door, the living room's to the right, but you can also walk in the living room and go to the other side of the wall and walk through to the kitchen. So it was a circle, front door, living room. You can go to the kitchen. You can just go around like that. To the left was the hallway. My room was on the left. There was a corner room, my mom room on the right, and the bathroom across from my room. One night I was in the house. There was a lamp that sat on the opposite side of the living room. Anything in front of that lamp creates a shadow to the other side of the room. Before you enter into the kitchen from the opposite side of the living room, there was a back door and short blinds on that door. I look up one night and there's that same shadow of the top button lady. I'm a little bit older this time, 15. I was like, okay, this isn't normal. There's no way that whatever it is could follow me. I'm thinking it's follow me. I never had an ill feeling about it. I never felt scared or anything. Maybe it's my grandma. Maybe it's her protecting me. I did everything to erase this shadow, moving stuff around, creating the shadow because I don't want to be crazy. Nothing removed the shadow from there. A little bit after that, I was in the house looking down the hallway. I look up and I see a face in the corner of the hallway. Very like transparent. I call this ghost George Washington. That's exactly what he looks like. I never seen like his whole body. It was just the face there in the corner. I'm trying to register what's going on, and I'm like, I didn't see that. Nope, didn't see it. I don't know what that's about. After that, I'm in my room, falling asleep. My room always gave me weird vibes, not enough to freak me out. They say don't sleep with a mirror facing your bed, and I don't to this day. I wake up one night, for no reason, I open my eyes. The George Washington ghost is right there in my face, looking directly at me. I shut my eyes and I started praying. I never seen George Washington again after that. I'm hoping he was a friendly ghost. I don't know. After that, there was a corner room in the back of the hallway. My mom turned into a small den area, had a TV and a little lounge couch. Me and my mom are in that room one night. There's a window in that room that faces the road, the neighborhood street. There's a cul-de-sac right there. In that cul-de-sac on the starts the next street with a row of houses. On the opposite side, I don't know what to call this. It wasn't a ditch, it was really deep, but it was this really steep hill. It was a great sledding hill. But once you get down in there, it would be hard to come back up out of there. In that little ditch area, it was these pipes, these white pipes, and it ran to the other side of the neighborhood. I don't know if that was electrical or water. I have no idea. All I know is it was a really steep hill. Me and my mom are in this room one night, and I was prompted to look out the blinds. I see this guy come up out of that cul-de-sac area. He has on this white t-shirt and jeans. He had dark hair. He stands in the middle of the cul-de-sac. I'm looking, what is this guy doing? He's just standing there. He looks frantic, like he's panicking. He didn't look like he was on a neighborhood stroll. Where did he come from? There's nobody just casually walking around down in there. Like, I'm looking at him. I closed the blinds. I was like, oh crap, this guy just seen me looking at him. I opened the blinds and he's standing in the middle of the cul-de-sac still. Then I see the headlights from a car approaching. He sees the lights and runs to the opposite side down the street with the row of houses, but he runs into the backyard of the very first house. I open the blinds again. I'm curious. Is he going to come back out of that backyard? I need to let my mom know there's some creepy guy in somebody's backyard running around outside. Maybe we should alert the neighbors. Of course, I see nothing, but he comes right back from the same side. It was like take two in a movie scene. Everything happened exactly the same. He looked at me. The car lights approach again. The same thing. He sees the car lights. He takes off behind the same house. I do remember being at the bus stop telling my friends about it. And they were like, oh. I'm like, me too? One of my friends was like, there's a little girl in my house. She calls my name. Tiffany. She had the little girl be in the house like, Tiffany. Just calling her name. Another girl said a little boy running around her house. We just came to the conclusion we're on burial land or something. Like, what's going on in this neighborhood? A year or two ago, My niece called me and was like, "Hey, auntie, can you come pick me up? Cancel your address." I'm driving, and I'm like, "Oh crap, I'm going back to my old neighborhood." I never wanted to go back to this place again. I didn't want my wheels touching the ground of this neighborhood. I get there, and I'm texting her like, "Come on, please, like, hurry up." So she was like, "Why are you acting like that?" And I told her the story. Creeped her out. Well, I'm driving to get out the neighborhood. Lo and behold, I'm coming down that same street and ended up right at that house that the ghost guy ran behind when he received the car light. I'm telling my niece, this is the ditch. Do you see what I'm talking about? You can't just walk down there. You can't just come back up. She was like, "Auntie, let's get out of this neighborhood." I was like, "Yeah, let's go. Let's get out of here." I showed her the house. When I rode past the house, like, my arms just stood up because I'm like, I left the energy here. I don't want it to recognize me.
The story continues right after this. Stay with us.
After we moved to the new state, I had experienced sleep paralysis once or twice. I don't know, it's because we were adjusting and I was just acceptable because I was young. Mine was more of I'm sleeping, I'm waking up, and I'm held down by something. I grew up Christian, so I would always call on the name of Jesus and it would stop immediately. After a while, it stopped completely. I guess it was like, this girl got God power. We can't mess with her. One experience that stands out the most, I was in high school. It was finals week. Finals week are stressful. It was senior year finals at that. So it was make or break. I was laying in my bed and I felt something sit on my bed. All of a sudden, I hear my daddy call my name. I'm laying on my right side. It comes on the left side, spoons me. My daddy used to be a pastor. So I don't know if that was my angel or something, but I hear my daddy call my name and it releases me. I know this is an episode of sleep paralysis. I'm able to look over my shoulder at my door. I see this black figure open the door and shut it. After that, I was able to jump up. I go out into the living room and I'm like, "Dad, Dad." There's no one in the house. Not a soul. I call my dad. He's like, "I'm at work." "Did you just call my name?" He's like, "I'm at work." Okay. I haven't been touched by anything ever before. Just seeing stuff, that would really freak me out for sure. All of my experiences freaked me out, but when that thing spooned me, I was like, "What is this? Is this real?" Now that I'm older, I know like to not give it your energy. Don't acknowledge it. Don't give it anything. I just pray and keep God first. I ask Him to protect me. And that's what He does. I think the last sleep paralysis episode I had was 3 years ago. I battled between sleep paralysis and astral projection. I remember being in my room one night. I never lay on my back. I was laying on my back. I remember feeling like I was floating. I could see my bedroom door, my wall, and I'm like, why am I floating? After that, I woke up. Why was I floating? If it was sleep paralysis, I would have noticed something holding me down. I legit felt like I was floating. Maybe it could have been a dream. When I've heard stories, maybe it wasn't that. Maybe I was just sleeping. I love true scary stories. I was even debating for a while to do it because I don't want to feed my experiences. I'm telling my boyfriend, I think this is a way to get it off my chest. There's a community of us. I was like, I just need to get this all out and tell my story. I'm not the only one. But ever since I've been listening, I immediately was hooked. I was like, maybe I shouldn't listen to these podcasts. I think you mentioned listen at your own risk. And I was like, oh God, was that confirmation to stop? I was like, but I can't. I buy a lot of chapstick because I'm always losing them. I lost one of my chapsticks and could not find this thing. I mean, for weeks. I was getting ready and my chapstick just rolled across the floor, the one that I lost. I heard it hit the floor and roll. I looked at the floor. Where has this been? Did this thing just hit the floor? And I started praying because I'm like, we're not doing this. We are not doing this. Anywhere I move to, before I bring any of my stuff in, I walk around, I pray, bless my place. So I'm like, all right, time to like walk around and pray and bless again because I don't know where this came from or who is here, but you are not welcomed at all. You can never show yourself. You can never reveal yourself. You have to go now. That was the most recent thing that happened. And I was like, I'm definitely telling this story.
To share your own story, head on over to truescarystory.com, and for ad-free listening, scaryplus.com. You can get in touch with us at any time over at scary.fm on TikTok and Instagram, or you can find me at Edwin Cove. That's EDWINCOV over on Instagram and TikTok. Links to everything are in the description of this episode. Thank you very much for listening. Keep it scary, everyone. See you soon.